Hello and welcome back to the Weird and Proud podcast. It's Sam and
You've been practicing that all day
do you
again.
just get every time I do that you're surprised?
I think it's really well done.
Voice of an angel.
It's like when you hear a Taylor Swift song on the radio, you get really
I
excited,
get goosebumps every
like
time.
you do every time.
I know.
Same thing.
Yeah,
I think
it's kind of gorgeous.
the intro song's fabulous.
I know.
And with that lipstick color you got going,
It's a
fab.
lip tint.
I don't even know what that means.
I know you wouldn't. It's a new thing I just got. Actually, who just sent me that? Oh, Clarence.
And you went with the
Clarence.
headband look too. Like
That's 'cause
it's
my
you
hair
got a
is
whole
disgusting.
thing going
No,
on.
this is called I haven't showered in 3 days.
I
since we
love
got
the
home.
headband.
This is to hold my
You
dirty
could
hair.
shower it and put a headband in.
I did wash my face and I put on some lip tint for the peoples.
Beautiful.
For the people, so the kids don't call me ugly and old, an old woman.
Who does?
Old
I will
hag.
go to your house and beat
They-
you up. I don't care how young you are. That's
It's
your own
okay.
fault.
They're young and naive, and they don't know that one day they too will be old. Like you, just wait 20 years, you little fuckers. Like everyone hated millennials. Everyone made fun of millennials. Like when we were young, like it was like, oh, millennials are lazy, and we would make fun of the boomers, like boomers, boo boomers. And now I'm like, I feel for the boomers, We're
I
all just
feel
trying
for
to
the boomers.
now, it's like these Gen Z kids.
I still have zero idea what generation I'm considered. And I
think
love
you're
human study.
Generation X.
Yeah, that's probably the one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Sounds like the best one to me.
I know you guys kind of stay out of the drama.
We're good at that.
I know.
yeah.
I feel like no one talks shit about Generation X.
That's the secret.
I know.
Don't tell
What
anyone.
is the secret?
Yeah. Just
That's
don't
kinda-
get
That
talked
is
about.
funny. I think about no one talks about Generation
That's
X.
why I have no
It's
idea what
boomers and
generation I'm
millennials.
in, because nobody talks about us.
Wow.
Fucking love it.
That's kind of nice. Hello everyone. We've survived Fiji. I know we kind of left you on a cliffhanger. Like, are we gonna die in the cyclone? But surprise, we are still alive, and we'll fill you in. Not that it was super eventful.
We're
I'm sure
alive
you've been following along.
and we're tan as shit.
I mean, you definitely got a ton of sun. I feel like I got some sun, but I was
Your
really
sun looks
safe
great. You
this
were
trip.
extremely safe.
I put on 50. I'm getting old. Back in the day, when we were in high school, we would burn. I would
On purpose?
Yes.
Would you really?
Yes.
I don't know if you ever told me that.
Well, it was cool. Whoever looked the tanner, the tannest.
Whoever
the
was
tanners.
the tanners.
That was the thing. When you got back from your trip in high school, if you weren't super tan, it wasn't brag.
You wanted everyone to get a little jelly of the
Yeah.
tan. That was the key.
That was the thing. But now it's I just don't want ring. I'm old enough. Times are hard.
Times are hard.
Times are hard. But we do have a great show for you. Obviously, we'll fill you in on the rest of the Fiji trip.
Survived the cyclone.
We survived. We have been home for about two days because we got home really late Thursday night, 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Friday morning, technically. So we've had we've had 2 days.
Two and a half.
Yeah. So we've just been the jet lag has been real.
Oh yeah. I woke up early Friday to do some work stuff, and then the rest of the day Friday, and I was the lazy one this weekend. I have been just sleeping.
So tough.
Oh.
I just know that you have to force yourself to get up.
Yeah.
Even though you're gonna have a morning where you're
tomorrow. That's gonna be tomorrow for me.
Yeah.
I know
you
it.
have to
It's
wake
just
up,
gonna
you
be.
have to go to work.
Yep.
And it was nice because we did get back on a Friday, so we kind of had the weekend to recalibrate because I feel like this has been the hardest jet lag that I remember in a while.
Even years ago when we were in Europe, I do not remember it taking this long.
It was nice when you're in Europe because you're ahead. It kind of just makes you wake up earlier.
Yeah, that's it.
And it's not harder to stay up late. I feel like it's harder to wake up early. I can stay up really, even, right now Europe's 6 hours ahead.
Yeah.
So it would be 3 a.m. We could push just to keep
stay up.
But waking up early when you haven't fallen asleep until 3 or 4 in the morning is when you're used to waking up later. So, so it's definitely been pretty tough.
This was real jet lag.
I mean, even when I had gone to Los Angeles, I would get jet lag because you just get used to sleeping in a little bit.
Yeah.
When you're there, it's sleeping until 8 in the morning for us in Fiji was sleeping until noon or 1 in the afternoon.
And now that we're home, I keep thinking it's a different day at home.
Yeah.
Because when we were in Fiji, we have to be like, all right, so it's actually
The day ahead.
tomorrow.
Yeah,
It's
it's
tomorrow in the evening, or
yeah,
it's
like right now
today in the
Fiji,
evening.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have no
how
idea.
to do like the math was crazy. Anyways, so
Mostly it was just for fantasy football, but
that's really truly all you
I had to
about.
make sure to get all my waivers and I had to get my team set up the right way.
The important things in life. But yeah, so that's been stuff, but we've been watching a lot. So we are going to give you all of our weird watches.
There's
We've
so many
been-
good things to watch
a
right
lot
now.
of documentaries.
Do you think it's partly because we weren't watching while we were there?
Yeah, I feel like we have a backload.
Or is there just that much good stuff coming out around the holidays because people are going to be sitting around more?
I don't know.
I like to think that
Maybe a mix of
quality
both.
TV is back with the writers and everything.
Well, it's been a lot of like documentary. Like I feel like the stuff we've been watching has been documentary.
You mean stuff that I love?
Yes, but it's not really like well, I don't know. I guess whatever.
It's still whatever it is. It's
Whatever
quality
it is,
stuff.
We've been watching it. So our weird watches, we got some weird news. And of course, we're back with some weird secrets. We got some good ones. We got the follow-up. We got a weird vacation, really weird vacation secret.
Oh, I'm excited.
And I would like some more. If you do have any weird vacation things that have happened to you, like the weirdest thing that's happened to you on a vacation, we need to know. But we'll get into that when we get to the secrets.
Can I do a spoiler alert of what's going on in my head?
Yeah, what's going on in your head?
Well,
James?
just because I like to not know what's going on. You have this wonderful show sheet you put together, and then we discuss it like live on the air, like we are right now.
Yeah.
Here's the other one I want to add into the vacation. I mean, it's not that groundbreaking, but the holidays are coming up. We need some weird ass Hollywood holiday stories.
I know. I can't believe.
And stick with Thanksgiving. Don't skip to Christmas. Don't skim Thanksgiving.
Okay, well, how about just because Christmas will be here in 3 episodes, we'll box it.
I want Thanksgiving.
You woke up the dog.
I did wake up, Prue.
Say sorry.
I'm sorry, boo boos. Daddy just loves Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving so much.
But I feel like Thanksgiving, you get stoned and pass out at the table.
It's all day of football and eating.
Yeah,
there is nothing to hate on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. So, well, anyways, whatever holiday around.
Or if you don't celebrate those and you have another holiday you celebrate, I'm sorry, I should have said that too.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
That was rude of me.
How rude. Cancel him.
What's going on in some of these other countries where people call in? What's going on in Australia or Ireland?
Australia believes in Christmas. Ireland?
Yeah.
Ireland's
well,
Christmas.
when I said all these holidays, because there's other ones.
Like what?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people
Hanukkah.
in there's exactly. I was going to say there's a lot of people here that don't celebrate
What's
Christmas.
The other?
Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
I literally my brain was working overtime to try and think of that word.
You need a rest?
Kwanzaa.
Quick nap?
We
commercial
never hear
break?
about Kwanzaa. Does anyone here celebrate Kwanzaa?
We need some Kwanzaa stories.
Call us in with a Kwanzaa story, please. That's what I'm sick of Christmas. Tell me about another.
This is why I'm so passionate about not skipping Thanksgiving. Not that I don't want to honor all the other upcoming holidays, but also tell me about Hanukkah when it's closer to that time. Don't skip on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Unless you're in a country that obviously doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving, then you're allowed to, because it's really just an American holiday.
Yeah,
so
true.
There's technicalities to these.
There are, like everything. But anyways, really, I was trying to think where we left off with the Fiji. I mean, really, it was that day we recorded the podcast the day that the cyclone was coming in. And obviously, if you follow on Instagram, you probably saw we got, I think it was up to 65 mile per hour winds.
I thought at least
gusts, obviously, not the whole time. Obviously, posted some videos of the whole experience. James likes to say that he, couldn't sleep. Oh my God, the wind. But as you will see from evidence submitted on my Instagram, James was sound asleep.
I slept through most of it.
You slept through the whole thing.
I did wake up at 1 a.m.
to pee.
I walked out there all by myself. I wanted to see what it was. And then I was up for 4 to 7 minutes and I fell back asleep.
7 minutes.
Somewhere in that range.
I didn't fall asleep for hours. I was up till 2 a.m. crying in my bed.
Not this guy.
But it was funny, I don't know what. I meant to tell you this. There at 1 a.m, I went outside to, I was kind of just feeling it out. And I don't know, this always goes over me. I was recording a little bit and then I was like, oh my God, what if a man like from the tribe just like was standing in front of me, like looking at me.
It probably is going to happen to you. You've caught
What?
orbs on, like,
I know, that's what I was like, what if I caught them in camera of like, like a past tribe member, like a past, from like, like
oh, you
coming
mean
out
a
during the storms, like a
ghost?
ghost.
Got it.
That's what I was like, the ghost
Did
tour.
you?
Like, I didn't. But like I started to freak myself out. Like I was like out there recording. I was like, oh, what if all of a sudden on my screen, like a ghost of like a like a local Fijian just like shows up and it's just like, like tries to kill me.
You did run around screaming, "I'm the chief." You deserve it.
I know, and I know. I should have been killed at the stake, but they didn't kill me. But hopefully they knew I was joking.
God, I
Hopefully
hope
they
so.
have a good sense of humor.
I hope so.
Because no one wants me running anything.
Well,
No one wants me to be the chief of anything.
no. On the tour, the guy did say that the Fijian culture does not hold grudges. So
True.
yeah.
I hope they forgave
They
me.
might murder you, but
Yeah,
they don't hold
but they'll forgive
grudges.
me.
Yes.
So we survived. It was fine. It was, the thing that was like kind of like the scariest was just like how so many people had to evacuate, and they were kind of obviously they're being more safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Like the whole. I mean, if it did have direct impact, and apparently it was supposed to like directly like hit our island, but it did go a little to the west of our island, so like the eye of the storm never directly hit. It was kind of like we kind of got like the side of the storm, which wasn't as bad. Like if the center of the storm had gone through our island, like it would have been like 125-mile-per-hour winds and probably would have seen some more damage. But luckily we didn't get the eye of the storm, and it really wasn't like the damage. Like it was just a lot of fallen trees and stuff, and like obviously the staff was amazing, and they were delivering us food in helmets and like full body gear.
Yeah, they had to wear like construction hats.
Like they showed up with like headlamps and helmets on, and like
And they're
we're like,
happy
"Holy
as hell
shit."
too.
Yeah, and they were just like, "Hey, just another day." That was like what I was looking to, is like the staff.
If
Like I was
they
like,
got nervous,
the staff is
yeah.
like starting to freak out, and like some of them are going home, but they're all just like, yeah, what are you gonna do?
In no way
Just
did
like a
any of them
snowstorm
seem
here.
at all nervous. Exactly.
Yeah, it was just like a big snowstorm. So so anyways, that was the end of that. We got home safe and sound, obviously. No hiccups, thank God. On the way home, of course, the day we left, it was
I had the
stunning.
hiccups a little bit on the plane.
You're so stupid. But it was overall a great trip. We did obviously a lot of these questions, a lot of the Q&A on the last episode, but I would definitely go back to Fiji again. I think we would have to like do we were saying this, like a New Zealand, Australia combined, just because like we felt so close, but so far,
Like a 4 and 4. It still need to be that 8.
Like break it up a little bit.
I would never go there. Like that's a once every couple years vacation.
Yeah.
And you need to block off a lot of time. There's
it's
no
just,
way
like,
I would want to
forever,
do that
forever.
for 6 days. It's too much travel for
Totally.
anything
Yeah,
under 7 or 8 days.
Yeah. Like we would feel like we just got there. Like it was funny. Like when we first got there, I was like, damn, we're here for a while. And it just is so funny. Like, then all of a sudden we were leaving, and it was like, oh my God, that just went by. Days just go by so fast when you're on vacation. But yeah, I would definitely want to like extend it, or like maybe go and visit some of the other islands. It's not as easy as you would think. Like there's one ferry that kind of like this ferry system that like drops people off, and it's like twice a day. Like it's not as easy. If we had a shit ton of money, like if we were really rich and could like get our own boat or like rent private people, that would be the idea.
That'd be different.
Because like the ferries are just slow too, because all the islands are far apart. So like even like a whole day on a ferry, it took us like 2 hours to go to one island over.
So if we're discussing how we would do it, this would be my idea. Kind of like more of the people we talk to, like 4-ish days in either New Zealand or Australia, and then 4 days in one place in Fiji. Because the to me, the best part was the solitude and the relaxation and the silence.
Once we were there, it was like, oh, like have to pack up all our stuff, wait for a ferry and like do all that. Was like,
you're on an island.
Yeah.
There is not a car. You can't hear
you can't
traffic. There's none of this ambulatory sounds like at all bothering you. It is just you and nature, and it was wonderful.
Yeah, it was really nice because there weren't a ton of boats like going in and out either. It wasn't like a busy, it was like it was really quiet. And that was like one of the things, like one of the days that like there were a couple activities we didn't get to do because for like 3 days they shut down all the boats because of the hurricane. So
Cyclone.
Yeah, cyclone. And did we already say this fun fact? They're called hurricanes above the equator, and they're called cyclones below the equator.
Or typhoons, also, I believe, in another part of the.
Yeah, there's a.
It's the same. There's a different way you call it in each area.
It's like based on the area, not really on the storm. Like a cyclone and a hurricane are kind of the same thing.
Same thing. It seemed like.
And they also spin different ways. I think we discussed this.
So do toilets.
Yes. You know, it's funny. My dad asked me that. That was the first thing. You go, did the toilet spin different ways?
Coriolis
Like,
effect.
I didn't even look at the toilet, but spinning. But yeah, I think that would be the thing. Because, I was saying that there were going to be some activities we were going to do. Like, we were going to do, like, I really want to do this island hopping where, like, they do kind of bring you to some of the other islands and you have to pay up, obviously, like, someone to bring you around. And then we did, what else did we want to do that we didn't get to do? There was one other.
Like a sunrise thing?
Oh, yeah. We were going to do a sunrise. You could, like, hike to the top of this mountain and do a sunrise. But, like, it just.
We had so much fun when we didn't do that, though.
I know. But that ended up pushing us to do more of the kayaking.
Which I loved.
Which was really fun. And you can just, like, go to these other islands. Like, they really, like, didn't care. They're like, no, like, good luck with your life. Like, I was, like, kind of thinking, like, what if we just, like, didn't come back?
A lot of, most places you go, they're very, like, you go to Jamaica or somewhere else, they are watching your every move. Here, they're like, here's the keys.
Yep.
Go.
There you go.
Not keys, but paddle, whatever.
Yeah, here's the paddle. Here's a life jacket. We don't care if you wear it or not. Good.
Have
fun.
Go for it.
Luck. But, like, they didn't, like, I literally, because on the way back from one of them when we were kayaking, and again, if you were following on Instagram, we found, like, some of these abandoned little houses, which were really cool. James fucking kayaked. The back was half sunk.
Oh, yeah, we might have sprung a leak.
Yeah, we, like, think that we hit some coral.
Did not tell.
We look in the back, and James is, like, fully in water.
I did not tell her about this.
And
we just kept paddling. I've just made sure she's looking forward, and I'm like,
my God.
We're taking on water.
Kayaks are a lot of work.
We might go down.
It, like, sounds like it is fun, but it's like, I was busting at. Like, I was sweating my ass off on the way.
You did a good job. You worked hard.
You did all the work. I feel like I didn't even do anything, and, like, I was sweating my ass
off. I don't mind. I like a little,
little work
self-propel. Yeah.
Anyways,
it's very natural. It's quiet. It's peaceful.
It was. Minus just the sound of my panting, because that is like a workout. The row.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it for our Fiji. We hope you guys enjoyed our travels and our.
Thank you for coming with us.
Near-death experience.
It was wonderful hearing what people were commenting and saying.
I know,
like,
we do crack up.
I love the updates. I would ask her like during meals. I'm like, what are people saying? What are they watching?
What do they watch? What are they?
It's so interesting to hear what you're viewing out there.
I mean, the other thing we never got to do was an O. James on the beach.
We did not.
And it was either like a mix of, like, there were days that we would just end up, got drunk with some people, and we were like, we would die if we tried this, or it was just we would get rainy afternoons,
or there was a cyclone.
So moving on, the weird news of the week. So funny enough, James had sent me this weird news. Oh wait, well, I guess we're already here at weird news, but I was going to get into weird watch. We have so much to discuss.
Let's do the weird news, then the weird watch, then secrets. Is that the order?
I do the weird watch, but we can do whatever we want.
We got so many weird watches. We should save that for before secrets.
Yeah. And this was, again, something that was funny. You had sent to me from Instagram, and I didn't even see, like, I saw it, but then I was like, I didn't really read into it. And then I had mentioned this to you as a weird news story.
You share your perspective, and then I'll.
Okay,
put
so
my
I'll tell
science
you the
color
crazy
in
person perspective. So I think I had seen something about this on TikTok too, but basically there is this mysterious buzzing that keeps this small town up at night for weeks on end. And so this is from a town in Northern Ireland. It has about like 20,000 people, it says, in the town. So smallish town, not small compared to where the fuck James is
pretty
from.
good town. It's pretty good sized town.
Yeah, that's like big. That's like a city for James.
It's twice as big as any city I was near.
Sorry, friggin' ads. The friggin' ads. But so this town in Northern Ireland called Omagh, Omagh.
If someone is from or near there, please call in.
Oh my god, please, if any of you are from this town or like in this area, I know we have some I was gonna say Irish. Irish.
I was waiting for you to do the accent.
My Irish people. If you are out there, will you please?
Oh my God. I would like to apologize to all of our Irish or any Irish sympathetic listeners to that attempt at an accent.
If you're out there and you would like to call in about the buzz. My accents are literally so bad. My Australian accent was getting pretty good though, eh? No, that's London. Fuck, I lost it. I can't remember.
If you would like to hear Sam try more accents, you can call in and ask her too.
So quick if that we play that game.
This is a test for the cancel culture, because if they for a second think you're doing this intentionally,
no, literally,
like
James and I are at dinner with like this group of people from White Lotus at the resort, and we were talking about how we love going to Jamaica. And James goes, Sam, do your Jamaican accent.
Totally put her on the spot. Like, just threw it out there.
Do you want me to get killed?
Just threw it out there.
Everyone. I am not doing that. Okay, so anyways, back to the vibrating town. Giggity, giggity. But they say that it's like a vibrating noise, really loud at night, and it starts every night around like 12 or 1 in the morning, and it wakes this entire town up. Well, most people says that some people do like it because it's kind of like a brown noise, like, or kind of like a white noise. There are different types of noises, by the way.
There are.
And brown noise is one of them. So you just looked at me like I was a psycho, but brown noise is a thing.
But you were describing what is called a white noise.
But brown noise is similar to white noise. It's just like a different frequency. I'm telling you.
Don't you
I know
poop
all about
when you hear
noises.
a brown noise?
Was that poop? No, it's like white noise is like brown noise.
White noise, I believe, is defined as background noise that you cannot hear that helps you to not hear other
white noise
ambient
you can hear
sounds.
too, James.
Not necessarily. We'll have to look this one up. I can be fact checked on that.
Yeah, someone fact check him. Like a white noise machine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it makes noise. It doesn't just have silence.
I'll have to. I'll look into that.
Check your facts.
That one I'm probably wrong. That one I'm probably
if there's one
somewhat
thing,
wrong on.
Yeah, because if there's one thing I know about, it's different sleep mechanisms, and
I
know every noise.
You know accents and sleep mechanisms.
Okay, I've tried every noise to help me sleep. So, and they just like literally cannot figure out what this is. Like they have looked into like machinery, or like before they have said it has been like a big generator, but there's just like they cannot pinpoint the exact source. And they said that it happened actually in Bristol in the UK, and it was like they called it like the Bristol hum in the 70s, and it like went on for years and then it just stopped. And now it's back in Ireland. And of course, no, because they can't really find out like what it is. Like, you know, again, there's no like big factories near there. Like there's no real construction work that's going on. Of course, a lot of people are thinking that it is, you know, a bunch of different conspiracies. Ones that range from aliens, of course, ranging from like the 5G, like the, you know, what is like 5G? Like cell phone towers?
Yeah.
Cell towers.
Yep.
Cell towers. Also, they think that like it could be the fish. Like the fish could be like radioactive, and maybe it's like the fish because it's like near a riverway. So like maybe it's the fish that are loud.
Humming fish.
Yeah, that is also one. But that's like you know.
Can we do a quick question?
Yeah.
What's your source on this?
The New York Post, one of the most
reputable. Just checking.
James, that's where I get all my
seeing
news.
where they come up with those theories. That's all.
You know, but the other thing is too, like obviously people think of like a hum in a city. You know, like you think like traffic or
could be a billion different things,
planes or like some sort of machine. But this is like this small town in Northern Ireland, so that's what's so weird is it's not like by a huge city that could be making this type of noise. So yeah, so Irish, keep me posted on that up there, man.
That's like Irish Jamaican. That was a brown noise that just made me poop a little bit.
All right, what is your perspective, James?
Well,
What do you have to say?
First, we'll start with where I read this from an actual somewhat science magazine, Popular Mechanics. It's pretty much run by like engineers and smart people. Exactly my point. And my favorite part of this article was this: despite the ease with which something like this can be described as an almost supernatural phenomenon, the noise, officials want to make clear that it is most likely anything but. When asked if the hum could be evidence of a UFO, and they said not to buy into these conspiracy theories.
That's what they want you to think.
What is a fun problem will undoubtedly have a very boring explanation in time, he continued.
No, what's Rockham's razor?
And Occam's razor, the simplest reason is usually the most
UFOs. What else? Okay, scientists. What's the simplest reason? Exactly. You can't name it.
So UFOs that have never actually been proven to make sounds.
James, just let it happen, okay? Just stop fighting it.
And I have no doubt that this will be the same. Experts are currently casting a very wide net to try and find boring explanation. For example, air conditioning units and power lines are reportedly both being investigated.
Okay, in Irish, are you guys using AC in November? I don't think so. Okay, that's broken. What else you got?
Oh,
what other theories you have?
That's the thing. In a science magazine, they don't throw out random
what
theories.
Yeah.
They want to have some proof of.
They said like AC units. They have no proof.
But they have found those to make these types of sounds in other areas. That's why they're using that.
I want to see the studies.
Yeah, sure. I got them right here.
Okay, send them over. I'll have my attorney look at them.
Done. Coming your way. You want to see? They have references.
Have my attorney look it over.
They have references to where they quote things from here.
Let's see it.
Like real stuff.
Yeah, like what? The Britannica?
Sending it to you now. Encyclopedia Britannica is absolutely a reputable source.
Do they even have any new ones of those?
I hope they do.
I know. I wonder if they still come out.
Does anyone know?
Does anyone read books? Books are still out? Do people actually, are there book printers out there anymore?
I hope so.
Wow. Well,
I sent you the article.
Let us know.
And its references.
I will have my lawyers look it over. And we'll determine if it is.
Check it out.
My lawyer is Prudence Murray. She is a big attorney from Harvard. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Are you putting Prue into the...
Does she not look like a Harvard grad? Look at her. Her tongue's out. Look at her.
She's getting rest in.
She's getting her rest in. All right. Well, that's kind of some weird news. Like, I feel like that's important to know. If you hear a weird hum and you're an Irishman, call us up, man.
Oh my God. Oh.
See, now, like, when one accent gets stuck in my head, then that accent becomes the accent for all the other accents. Like, I can't do multiple accents. Like, some of those people that can just do multiple different types of accents will never be me. Like, it will not and it shall not. What are you looking at over there?
Hold on.
What? Are you looking at more receipts, more background for your quote unquote theories?
I'm trying to back my white noise statement. And it does look like I found your little pink and brown noise stuff.
Yeah.
And those, I figured they exist because, again, color is a spectrum, right?
Okay.
So you have all the colors. So are wavelengths or sound, how we hear things. I still want to say that technically you can't hear white noise, or you're not supposed to. And I don't know the answer on that one yet.
Okay. Well,
white noise is supposed to be like an ambient sound that almost like it's the idea behind noise canceling headphones. Sure. So you can't really hear much else.
So wouldn't it just be blank noise?
It's just supposed to, white
Zero
noise. There's no color
white
to
is
it.
Still white. It'd be clear noise. Let's just fight on everything. Give me another topic. Let's fight about it. Okay, we need to get into the weird watch because we're already 30 minutes in and we haven't even gotten to the weird watch. most importantly, what do you think has been the best thing we've watched so
Are we
far?
allowed to talk about what we just watched
Yes,
today?
yes, yes, yes.
I forgot the name of it.
Love has won.
That is
Yes.
absolutely so well done and compelling. That would be one of the top ones I'd watch. And then I'll give you my number 2 after that.
Yeah. So Love Has Won. It's a new documentary that just came out on HBOMAX. There's only one episode that's out, but like the story, I know I've heard about it before. There was a Dateline episode on it. But it's basically this cult. There's been like a lot of cults recently.
You
A
were
lot of cult
probably right on your theory about like maybe some of these were being done during the writer's
online.
strike. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or had been done so they're easier to produce because they
Yeah.
don't need follow-up writing
Right.
like a lot of
Or
other
actors
shows.
or
Yeah.
anything like
You
that.
don't you
Right.
don't need anything like that.
But it's about this cult that like I mean, they basically are just doing a bunch of drugs in the desert and like claim this woman as God. And it's, it's
You
definitely
got to watch it.
very right wing. Like they're all very obsessed with Trump. Not that it's good or bad, whatever you want to like, whatever you want to like. Whatever but they believe they drink colloidal silver,
Yes.
which they believe is healing all of their problems. They drink a lot of alcohol, which I always think is really interesting too when these people are like so spiritual, but then they were like talking about how they do drugs all day and drink alcohol all day. Pretty much.
That
They're never
people
sober.
love to find excuses to just
Yeah.
here's what I do.
Yeah. And yeah. It's basically like they're doing whatever they want and then they're justifying it. But like these are
They're
no, it's what I
reliving
believe in.
Woodstock.
Yeah. They're basically just like I mean, one of the women calls herself a hippie. They're like literally these hippies living in the desert, and they believe that like the awakening is coming, and like they say that they are QAnon people. They basically say that they believe in all the conspiracy theories, and everyone who believes in that is like part of their group. And I think it really like amplified over COVID too, because the whole colloidal silver thing was a big COVID thing, and the world was ending. Like I think that's what too, like a lot of like where I started to see a lot of people that I knew from high school and college that were kind of like, I don't know, I just like feel like I know people who would be in this group. Like I literally could be like, I feel like I know many people who would be in this or like are in this type of group, where it's just like it's this, the 5G. I mean, like I would go, like beat
You'd
me
go
up,
check it
Scotty.
out.
Yeah. Smoke weed all day in the desert and talk about ascending, how we're not real and this is all simulation. They are very much like everything that I say, like the conspiracy theories. Like I'm like half joking, like obviously,
Half joking.
half joking.
We could put you in undercover. We could have you do an accent.
Yeah, exactly. They never know. But they definitely have done a lot of drugs. They've definitely done a lot of psychedelics. You like literally within the first 5 minutes of the movie or of the show, I was like, how many drugs are they on? How many psychedelics are they on? It's
I
like,
suppose we should have
we're
given
all
our listeners a
love, we're all
spoiler
peace
alert that
and
we're going to tell them what
love.
this is.
Well,
This has been out for like a week. So.
Yeah, and I mean, there's no spoiler like that.
It's episode 1. There's more coming.
Yeah, there's a lot more coming. But that one was really good. I really loved the Twin Flame one.
You like the Twin Flame one a lot? Okay.
That's on Netflix. And this was about a cult too that was like that was probably my second was this cult, like they call, obviously they didn't call themselves a cult, but it was like this online, a lot of online groups, and they've said since COVID and since, obviously social media, online cults are like the new thing, and they've seen a huge rise in these cults because of social media, and so many people are isolated and lonely and looking for community.
That's the whole world.
Right.
Everyone's looking for
That's
that.
why I'm like, honestly, like wrong place, wrong, like if I got the message at the wrong time, like I would be like, I probably be like, yeah, like let's go to the desert and smoke weed all day and like sounds awesome. But yeah, it's the Twin Flame one.
Okay.
It's like this whole like cult around that they can find your twin flame, and it just like I not to have spoiler alerts because you need to go watch it on Netflix. I think it's like a 3-part docuseries.
I think that was a 3, yeah.
But how they can like promise that they can find you your soulmate, your twin flame. You pay them like thousands and thousands of dollars, and like by the end you're like, what the hell? Like they're like having people stalk people. They're like, no, that's your twin flame. So people are like going to jail because they're stalking people. They're like being with abusive people because they said it's their twin flame and they can never leave them. So that was, you say that's your second favorite?
Here's why it isn't. Because it was so related to the one we just watched.
I know.
And
This
even though
one's
we
crazier.
watched Twin Flame first,
Yeah.
this
Love
one
Has
I
One
like
is
better.
crazier.
So the Twin Flame one, the difference between the two for me, where Twin Flame was more about control and power
Yeah.
by someone who's probably a little more mentally lucid,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And this one's more about money, control, and power. The other one, they're using freedom, and then they find some great ways to make money,
Yeah.
but they really just want freedom and do whatever
And
the hell they want.
They're just lazy.
Yep. And just, this is how we're going to do it. And hey, we're going to all have these ideas. Hey, these people are connected to these ideas. Let's get a bunch of
Yeah.
people that believe what we believe to do this, which is basically anything, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
even in the science community, you look for other people that might have science. It doesn't mean it's always right, but
Yep.
you know, you're always looking for those people that are similar to you.
Yeah.
And that's what both groups did, but they did it in two totally different ways. So it is interesting to watch
Yeah.
both of them.
Yeah. And then that's tough. That's why the gas incident, the Bhopal.
That was number 2 for me.
So the Railway Men, the Untold Story. I think it's Bhopal.
Bhopal, I think it is. Yeah,
India.
Bhopal.
Yep. In I think it was 84.
Yeah. Heart-wrenching.
Never heard of this, and it is one of the saddest stories and the craziest stories, and just like an inspirational story. Like it was like made you want to like, you know, be like, oh, there is hope in the world at the end.
I choked up a little bit during that.
Yeah, it is so good, and Chernobyl vibes.
You nailed it. You said it from the very beginning.
Yeah, I'm like, this is giving me Chernobyl, which I mean, I think Chernobyl still ended up being a much larger tragedy, just in the amount of people that died. But what's so crazy about this is there, you know, spoiler alert, but there's a gas spill in one of the most populated cities in India, and the way they cover it up, very similar to Chernobyl.
Can I be real specific?
What?
Not to tread on what you're saying.
What?
It was a gas leak. And the reason I say it that way is because this one does have kind of those not conspiracy theory vibes, but this also talks about negligence from a big American corporation.
Oh, yeah,
this is an American-based corporation that covers up what's going on. Yeah.
Yeah. And just, I mean, the amount of people that were affected by this, and just because it was this gas, I mean, similar to Chernobyl, where it's like it fucks up the ground and the soil and the water forever. Like, you know, even they're kind of doing follow-ups, and it's like it's still like, you know, they're still have even with like pregnancies to this day with women trying to give birth, like apparently miscarriages are 7 times more likely in that area than any other, you know, compared to the rest of the world. And it's just devastating. I mean, it is heart-wrenching, but it's also like at the end has a great message and like some great storylines. Must watch. That was probably one of the other top.
It was one of those that makes you believe in humanity a little bit again. Yeah. It was great.
But also makes you hate them. Mostly the Americans. Per usual.
Well,
fucking shit up.
Hey, people that are, and it just shows it's people, they're just doing stuff for money. It's even kind of a point they make in the very beginning, right?
Yeah. And the other one we did watch was the Avalanche. We were like on a catastrophe.
Good use of catastrophe.
Right? I know. I'm such a big worder.
You get a C- for worder.
But the Avalanche of this was close. It was like 1982.
Yeah, it was like almost close. The same time.
In where was it? In Colorado somewhere.
No,
where was it?
California, Lake Tahoe.
Oh,
Northern California.
Utah. Isn't Utah Lake Tahoe? California?
I think it's in parts of Northern California.
Oh, I thought it was in Utah. Anyways, but it's about this alpine meadows, and they have this, like, it's one of the biggest places in the world for avalanches, just because of the way the mountains are like formed, that it's just like are supposed to have some of the worst avalanches. And, it tells a story about these guys who are like avalanche predictors. And, there's really good storylines in this one too. But this avalanche happens, and obviously, huge tragedy, like takes out like an entire base of this.
It takes out almost an
ski
entire
park.
ski lodge.
Yeah. And also heart-wrenching, but also, has a heartwarming message in the end too. That we had great watches.
Those three, all four of these
Yeah.
that we've said are actually really, really great watches. Yeah.
Highly recommend. And we'll keep you posted on The Love Has Won, because apparently new episodes come out Monday. So
we're going to stay up till midnight and watch it.
We're going to stay up to midnight on Sunday and see and watch it because we're obsessed. So anyway, so that is your weird watches. I mean, it's just a lot of content to catch up on. So I know we're, it's a little longer of an episode today. Lucky you. All right, James, are you ready?
Oh, I can't wait. We didn't do secrets last time.
I know.
I'm so excited.
It was kind of more of a Fiji, and we were like, the cyclone was like literally starting to rain.
It was starting to bear down on us.
And I was like, all right, I need to get this done. But it's that time for secret. Stunning.
Good wrap up.
Thank you. Where you can submit your weirdest secrets to us, weirdest stuff that's happened to you. Just send us some weird shit. You can send it to
SpeakPipe.
That's speakpipe.com/weirdandproudpod. Again, speakpipe.com/weirdandproudpod. Always anonymous. You can leave up to 1 minute and 30 seconds. And tell us your weird shit. Specifically, we always kind of look for a theme, because I know it's kind of general and vague to be like, send us some weird shit. So right now, any weird, you can always send us weird shit, but specifically, if you have any like weird vacation stories, the weirdest thing that's happened to you on vacation, or like weird holiday stories. What's like the weirdest thing that's happened at Thanksgiving or Christmas or Kwanzaa or Hanukkah?
Or if you're in Europe, holiday is vacation.
Is it?
They go on holiday.
Do they?
Yes.
Is that what it's called? Maybe maybe Americans also go on holiday.
No, we go on vacation.
How do you know? What's the difference?
The terminology.
Okay.
Just so like fries or it's like fries or chips over there.
Got it. Thank you for that amazing fact.
They are.
Thank you for adding a lot of value to this podcast.
Of course.
Thank you, James. Everyone say thank you, James. That was so informative. James and I have been going through shit all day today, by the way, like going through our basement. And there's one thing we're going to fight about. It's about cleaning shit out.
Don't you dare throw my rake out.
James has I just can't even. Like, we have 4 humidifiers down there, dehumidifiers. And he's like, we're keeping all 4, right? We have a fire escape ladder in our basement that's been in our basement for 10 years. And James is like, we need it. We got to have it. It's been in the basement.
It's important.
We have a rake that's been snapped in half.
Since about 2 months ago.
Oh, okay, that makes it better.
I could have fixed it. You're right.
Anyways, you guys.
I'm not throwing out a perfectly good rake.
At least I can stab you with it in the heart.
Exactly.
All right, let's get into the secrets before I punch you in the throat. Just kidding. I would never. Love you so much. All right, James, are you ready for the first?
Prepared.
Hi, Sam and James. It is the Halloween period full moon girl calling back in. So yes, I do consider myself a Wiccan. I practice tarot as well, and I do full moon and new moon rituals. I wish I could say I dance naked under a full moon, but that is yet to come. But I also do dabble a bit with feeling spirits. So I was actually the one who called in about the nanny housekeeper ghost. which, by the way, she is gone. I don't feel her anymore. It would have been so nice to have her stick around, but unfortunately / fortunately, her earth being self needed her more than I did. So she is passed. I am a witch. Yeah. So that's a little on me.
Obsessed. This was from a couple weeks ago, but
I remember the call, but I'm trying to remember during her first call how much she talked about the depth
nanny
of what she gets into of
Oh
her.
yeah,
I
she
can't
was just
remember
saying
how
that
much she
she
said.
was a witch. I know I can't remember the details from the first, but like I feel
This
like
put a lot of light on it for me.
yes, and want to come on? Maybe we should like have a witch on the podcast. How do you like nowadays? Is there a way to like prove that you're a real witch? Like, remember, obviously in the pilgrims would just see
Throw
you
her in the
sink.
water, see if she floats.
Right? Do you float? Just kidding.
Oh
But like,
boy.
could we? Like, I mean, I guess there really isn't. That's kind of the point to some degree. But like, can you do like any magic?
I'd love to hear that played back because I think she said something that was very interesting.
What did she say?
She said, I am a Wiccan because I practice, right? Meaning she makes a choice to study and do some of the
right. Yeah,
practice
like, are you
those
born
things.
a witch? Or can you become a witch?
What do you think?
I think you have to have a little bit more in you that you're like, that you grow this interest to want to do it. Like, I'm interested in it, but like, I wouldn't study. You know what I mean? You have to have this growing interest. Be like, this is the right journey for me.
I would put it a lot with anything, right?
Yeah.
Are you a reader? Are you an athlete or not? Are you good at piano? Well, when you're good at it to start, or you just take it on naturally, you're going to practice those things more.
Yeah.
And she obviously is closer to that part of the world than someone like me who doesn't really practice in those areas. And so does that make someone a witch? I would think so.
Yeah.
Right?
I love it. I mean, obviously, like, there are some parts, like, I love my crystals.
You do.
I love spooky stuff.
Yeah.
But, I'm always interested, like, what is, like, do you go to church? Like, what?
I think sorry to interrupt again. I think it would be interesting to have you ask her a lot of those questions.
Yeah,
I do.
I got questions. Would you
I
be
find
open
that
to
intriguing.
it? I'm interested in getting some more answers. But thank you so much for calling in. I love that we have a witch listener. That just like that was always the thing too, like growing up, like Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Like, I never wanted to be anything more than Sabrina the Teenage Witch. You know,
Because
or
of the
Samantha,
cat?
when she wiggled her nose. Bewitched.
Like,
that was like so fucking cool as a kid, Is it that cool? Can I wiggle my nose? But and her name was Samantha.
It was.
Fun fact. Yeah, but I just message me, send me a message, call back in, let us know.
Yeah, you need to. I can already tell you need to know more.
I need to know more. I don't want to keep rattling off questions here, but I want to chat. All right, are you ready for the next one? I believe this is another. I think this is the Fiji one. Here we go.
Sam and James. I just wanted to chime in since you're in Fiji right now. I wrote to you, Sam, saying that I went to New Zealand. We had a layover in Fiji, and the whole time I thought the water was a simulation. Like, I thought I was living in like digital crazy world, and none of it was real. And we stayed in New Zealand for 3 beautiful weeks with my friend. So nice. But I wanted to say something right up your alley, a little spooky and a little, honestly, just like weird and toilet. So I thought it would be perfect for this. Hopefully I can fit it. We basically drove the entire country of New Zealand and with my friend's car, and we made it through the South Island, and one of the B&Bs we stayed at did not have a toilet. Like, no toilet. Had a shower, no toilet to be found, no outhouse. We were in the middle of nowhere, no internet. The water was coming directly from this well. Super weird. And the entire house was just taxidermy. Like, just taxidermy crazy. I'll see if I can find it and send it to you. Just taxidermy, literally head to toe everywhere. And at night, we all slept in the same room. And this door creaked open, and we found a really creepy, spooky, haunted, like Queen Victoria room with a giant portrait of her in it. So
So I think she was saying that was in New Zealand.
Yes.
And that was the one, like a lot of these islands, like they are a little behind, especially when the rural areas. And that was something too, even like in Australia, that we were talking to people from Australia. Like I didn't realize like how many people, like 90% of the population lives
Over
on
90.
the coast. Yeah. Which is kind of the same to New Zealand. Like in the middle, it's like either like desert in Australia or like there is like some jungle, like some rural parts even too, where like farming.
And there's nothing
And
else.
there's nothing else. So like I imagine when you're talking about like driving through New Zealand, like if you're in the middle of New Zealand, like there probably isn't much.
No.
And even like, and I was thinking this too, when we were on one of the islands in Fiji and we were at like that abandoned house where like supposedly the chief had lived.
Yes.
There was no bathroom in there.
No.
It was like they had like a makeshift kitchen, a bedroom, and like in the back, I went to go look in the back, and it was like kind of just like it was almost like a makeshift patio, but there was also no bathroom there. Like they just don't have plumbing, like they just like you go in the ocean or like you go in a bucket.
Go in the woods.
Yeah, and you go in the woods. And so it's like a kind of a nice reminder. It's just like even when we went to visit the village, obviously, much different than like probably like anything we've seen, but it was like, yeah, they live in very modest, like little, almost literally shacks.
It's great to experience.
Yeah, no electricity, no Wi-Fi. They don't have like a couple people I saw with phones. But,
Yeah,
like there's no like you can't get 5G out there.
Nope.
And it's it's just like wow, like people really can still live like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you forget, like oh, like wait, so you guys don't have Instagram? Like what? Like what? No social media.
Yeah,
imagine.
you didn't gain a lot of followers out there.
No, didn't get a lot of followers in Fiji. They had no idea who I was, but it was actually, it's kind of like it was, it's just nice. No
Absolutely.
one gave two shits about me.
The Victorian room she talked about seems very interesting to me. Like, there's no bathroom, there's no this, but there's a gigantic portrait and this like old school Victorian room.
Yes,
that's intriguing.
I know you said you were gonna send me pictures. I hope that you did. I'm gonna look. You guys know, try to bump it to the top of my DMs. Message me again.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Do you know what taxidermy is?
Yeah, dead animals.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yes. Yeah, I would never be able to, like,
you would not handle that well.
I like any sort of taxidermy freaks me out too. Like that's my nightmare. And I need to see photos of this Airbnb. So please send them, and if you're allowing me to post, I'll post them to the Weird and Proud Instagram. If you're okay with that. But I want to see them, and I want to see the creepy Queen Victoria room. And as a reminder, if you have any weird, like this is a perfect weird vacation, ties in perfect. If you have any like weird Airbnbs, like that's another really good one too. Like
it's a great hotels, one.
Weird
yeah.
Airbnbs. Like, I mean, when we went to Austin, that was probably the weirdest hotel.
It was just a bad hotel.
I know, it was just a bad hotel. But yeah, any like weird Airbnb stories, send those in too.
I can see weird Airbnb stories being a great spot to go with this.
Yeah, weird Airbnbs. But thank you so much for calling in. We love you. We glad you survived. And yeah, we love the vacation stories. So keep sending them in. All right, we got another last vacation story for you, and I don't know if you're ready for this, James. You want to take a second?
Prepared.
Okay, here we go.
So this is a vacation friend story. When I was about 15, 16 years old, my family, including my sister, my parents, myself, and my sister's best friend, went to Busch Gardens, which, if you're not familiar, it's an amusement park in Virginia. It's really fun, by the way. And we were going on, I think it was the last ride or something like that. Me, my sister, my sister's best friend. And I was really into the goth fashion at the time, so I pretty much stood out like a sore thumb. There was this, I was getting onto the ride, and there was this guy, same age as me, maybe a little bit younger, not creepy younger, and he was dressed all goth as well. And my sister's like, look, he's looking at you. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, like, I don't give a shit. And I get on the ride, I get off, we look back to see if he's still there, and he was gone. And we're like, oh, whatever, like, that was weird. Homie was literally at the end of the line waiting for me, and then he just grabbed my hand, and then we just started making out. It was really weird, but whatever. We don't talk anymore, but we kept in contact for a few years after that. Nothing ever happened.
That is kind of a gorgeous story, love story.
That's a great vacation story.
That's a great vacation story. And like you always, I feel like once in your life when you're like in high school or like, you know, even middle school, like I think mine was in middle school when you have like a vacation boyfriend, girlfriend.
Yeah.
Where you meet someone on vacation. And it was funny, like Nick, my older brother, when we were like in high school, my older brother's 4 years older than me, and he would always find like a girlfriend.
Would he really?
Everywhere we went.
I did not know that.
It was like every time, like he would, like, you know, because we'd always be at the pool.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
And we'd always make friends there with the other kids. And Nick was always flirting with the ladies. And me and my brother were like, look out the window at the hotel, like, you know, waiting for them to come home. But I love this story, just like two goth kids finding each other in
at a Busch Gardens.
Oh, yeah, Busch Gardens.
Which
Busch
is
Gardens Disney?
Again, fact check me.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm pretty sure is it owned by Anheuser-Busch, the beer company?
It's a good question. I've never been to a Busch Gardens, actually, now that I think about it. And I want to say that it is like, it's kind of like attached to Disney. I to be honest, was never like a Disney kid. I think I've been to Disney like
well,
once.
There isn't a Disney in Williamsburg, Virginia, which is where he was.
Okay.
But there is one near a Disney. I agree with that.
Yeah, I think they're like close to each other. I don't know if they're related or not. The Disney kids. The Disney people are screaming because they know. Because if you're a Disney person, you're a Disney person, a Disney adult. But
it was owned by Anheuser-Busch.
But is it owned by Disney now? Does Disney own Anheuser-Busch? Does Anheuser-Busch own Disney?
Anheuser-Busch was bought out by InBev, which is a European company. But it does look like that the Blackstone Group purchased Busch Gardens potentially.
Blackstone?
And I need to look this up. Again, I don't know if these are great resources that I'm reading on, but
interesting.
Finding out. And Busch Gardens did own SeaWorld at one time. Yeah. These were offshoots of what, because Anheuser-Busch, it's a number one selling beer throughout the world forever. These days it's lower, but it used to be for decades. It was top selling beer. They made so much money. It was one of the offshoots they did. It was Busch Gardens. Yeah.
And
there is one in Tampa Bay.
Did you ever go to a Busch Gardens?
I was at one in Missouri, which is where.
Oh, so they're not attached to Disney. They're off doing their own thing.
I'm pretty sure it was Missouri that we were in.
Have you ever had a vacation girlfriend?
No.
Well, you guys.
I was going to ask, where was your vacation?
Well, we would go to Florida a lot.
Okay.
Not necessarily to Disney, but we went to Fort Myers a lot because
I was kind of a nerd, so no.
Well, and like, where'd you go on vacation? Like, where'd you?
We went to places
like Canada.
I went Canada fishing every year in the middle of the woods. Yep.
You're not finding a girlfriend out there.
Nope.
Where would you have gone on vacation that you would have found a girlfriend?
Let's see. Family reunions. Like we did mom's side. We used to go on some family reunions.
Where?
I was younger. We went to like Oceanside, California one year.
What the fuck is in Oceanside, California?
It's right outside San Diego.
Okay. Where else?
MTV Spring Break went there once.
Oh, wow.
I'm not kidding.
So wild. Where else?
Let's see.
Northern Wisconsin.
We went to Florida.
Dells?
Went to. Oh, that's not even a vacation. That's just a weekend.
Where in Florida would you go?
So like I've been to Disney World in Florida. Where else did we go?
I can't just.
Mostly it was either like visiting family reunions every week, every summer. Canada was the highlight.
You're not like at like a resort.
No, but you caught so many fish.
For a week in Disney.
It was fantastic.
We would go to Fort Myers, and my dad, one of his friends lives in Fort Myers, and had a condo, and we would rent out like one of the condos that like he owned, and he would rent it out on the side. And there was this huge condo complex with a huge pool and like all of these kids.
Oh yeah, that's like
so it would be
you're
like
naturally gonna go find
a
people
bunch
your
of
age.
kids. Yeah. And just because it was 3 of us, so like they were always my parents were like, when they were still together, would be like, how do we look for ways to get them like
Keep them
keep them
entertained.
busy?
Yeah.
Keep them entertained. So, anyways,
No,
I
that
love
makes
that story.
sense.
Back to the story. Sorry.
No, that was a good question.
Yeah.
But
was
his
it?
story, loved it. But again,
And we did
seeing
that.
Busch Gardens, and I love that he owns it. He's like, I dressed goth. He might still dress goth. That's
Yeah.
awesome. But he said, I stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
At a Busch Gardens,
Yeah.
you're going to stick out like a sore thumb. Absolutely.
I always would have thought I would have been a great goth kid because I had like the dark hair and like the dark.
I was waiting for you. I thought the story you were going to tell based off his story was your goth phase. And I'm like, I have never seen photos from that. And I've seen photos from all the years of your childhood. So I'm like, I do not remember a goth phase.
Yeah.
But the vacation boyfriend makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder what he's doing. Brandon. 14 back in middle school.
It was good to hear his one. It's nice that a guy called in.
Yes. Oh my God, that's so.
No, that's
wonderful.
fantastic.
We're obsessed.
And I did just the ownership of the goth thing. I loved that. Was my favorite
and
part.
that you just like no words were spoken. You just held hands. You made out, and that was enough. No words needed.
And you could also tell that he really did live his goth lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because partway through he goes, well, we got on, and then I looked back for him, and I didn't see him, so I don't really give a shit. But then at the end, he does give a shit, right? That's very much a goth attitude.
Take a snog, or you can take a snog. Snog it up. Do you know what snog means?
Is that making out?
Yeah. That's like a very London. I think. I don't know. That could be Australian.
I'm sure it's with the same accent
Jamaican,
too.
Who knows? Anyways, if you want to call us in with a weird vacation situation, a weird vacation mishap,
or holiday story,
which
could be a vacation.
Which could be a vacation. Holiday is vacation, as you say. So call us in at
SpeakPipe.
That's speakpipe.com/weirdandproudpod. We love you guys so much. Make sure you're subscribed if you're watching on YouTube. Make sure you give us a 5-star if you could, pretty please, with sugar on top. That would mean so much to us if you're on Spotify or Apple. And we just love you guys.
Comment on Sam's headband. I like the headband.
Yeah, tell me how much you love my headband. And my lip tint fell off, but that's okay. We love you. Have a great week.
We love you guys. Thank you for listening and playing along.
Bye, weirdos.